In 1942, as World War II rages across Europe, the world is desperate for a hero. But our story starts not on the battlefield, but in Brooklyn, with a skinny kid named Steve Rogers. More than anything, Steve wants to serve his country, but he's constantly rejected for military service due to his small stature and numerous health problems. He's got the heart of a lion, but the body of, well, a much smaller lion. During a visit to a Stark Industries exhibition with his best friend, Sergeant Bucky Barnes, Steve makes one last attempt to enlist. His unwavering determination catches the eye of Dr. Abraham Erskine, a scientist who sees past Steve's physical limitations and recognizes his true character. Erskine recruits Steve into the Strategic Scientific Reserve as a candidate for a top-secret program. Project Rebirth. At the training camp, Steve is an underdog, physically outmatched by every other soldier. But he proves his worth, not with brawn, but with brains and bravery. When a grenade is tossed into the group as a test, everyone dives for cover, except Steve. It jumps on it, ready to sacrifice himself to save the others. It was a dummy grenade, of course, but his selfless act solidifies Erskine's choice. Steve is the one. Back in a hidden lab in Brooklyn, the procedure begins. Steve is injected with the super soldier serum and bombarded with vitamins. The transformation is painful but incredible. The frail young man emerges from the pod as a tall, muscular specimen of peak human potential. He is the first of a new breed of super soldiers. But tragedy strikes immediately. A spy from Hydra, the Nazis' deep science division, assassinates Dr. Erskine and steals the last vial of the serum. With Erskine gone, the secret to creating more super soldiers is lost forever. Steve Rogers is, and will be, the only one. Instead of being sent to the front lines, the government decides to use Steve as a propaganda tool. Decked out in a colorful costume, he's given the name Captain America and sent on a tour to sell war bonds. He becomes a celebrity, a symbol, but not the soldier he longed to be. He's a performer, punching actors on stage while real soldiers are fighting and dying. While touring near the front lines in Italy, Steve learns that Bucky's unit has been captured by Hydra forces, led by the menacing Johann Schmidt. Schmidt, also known as the Red Skull, was Erskine's first test subject, but the serum was unstable and warped him, making him power-hungry and ruthless. He's been using a mysterious cosmic power source called the Tesseract to create advanced weaponry for Hydra, aiming for world domination. Ignoring orders, Steve decides to take matters into his own hands. With the help of Agent Peggy Carter and Howard Starkey's, Tony Stark's father, he parachutes behind enemy lines to rescue the captured soldiers. He storms the Hydra facility, single-handedly freeing Bucky and hundreds of other foes. For the first time, he's a true hero. The men he rescued, inspired by his courage, become his elite unit, the Howling Commandos. Now, equipped with a new, practical uniform in his iconic circular shield, made of vibranium, the strongest metal on Earth, Captain America. And the Howling Commandos launch a series of devastating attacks on HYDRA bases across Europe. They dismantle Hydra's operations one by one, crippling Red Skull's network, and bringing hope to the Allied forces. During a mission to capture a key Hydra scientist, Arnim Zola, on a speeding train, disaster strikes. Bucky is blasted out of the train and plummets into a frozen ravine below, seemingly lost forever. Devastated by the loss of his best friend, Steve is more determined than ever to stop Red Skull. Learning of Red Skull's final plan to use bomber planes armed with Tesseract-powered weapons to destroy major cities around the world, Steve leads a final, desperate assault on HYDRA's last stronghold. He manages to board Red Skull's massive flying wing, the Valkyrie, as it takes off. A climactic battle ensues between Captain America and the Red Skull aboard the plane. As they fight, the Tesseract's container is damaged. Red Skull, blinded by his ambition, grabs the cube directly. The raw, cosmic energy overwhelms him, opening a portal that sucks him into the cosmos, lost to space and time. The Tesseract then burns through the floor of the plane and falls into the ocean below. But the danger isn't over. The Valkyrie is still on a preset course, carrying bombs aimed at New York City. With no other way to stop it, Steve makes the ultimate sacrifice. Radios. A final heartbreaking goodbye to Peggy Carter, telling her he's going to have to take a rain check on that dance they had planned. He then pilots the plane into the Arctic ice, saving millions of lives but entombing himself in the frozen wasteland. The world believes Captain America is dead, a hero who gave everything for freedom. But that's not the end of the story. Nearly 70 years later, a team of scientists discovers the wreckage of the Valkyrie in the ice, and inside, they find Captain America, perfectly preserved, frozen but alive, thanks to the super soldier serum. Steve wakes up in what looks like a 1940s hospital room, but something feels off. He hears a modern baseball game on the radio and realizes it's a recording. He breaks out of the facility and finds himself in the middle of modern-day Times Square, a world completely alien to him. Nick Fury, the director of SHIELD, appears and explains the situation. Steve has been asleep for almost 7 decades. The war is over, but the world still needs heroes. His final mission is complete, but his journey is just beginning. The First Avenger has returned. A man out of time, ready to face a new century of challenges. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, hit that like button and subscribe for more movie breakdowns. See you next time.